So hi, this is Lisane Bascam at Carlsbad, and I am here today very excited about having a conversation with Carmen Proctor, the founder of Teen Smart Goals. Hi Carmen.
Hi Lisane, how are you?
I'm wonderful, wonderful, thank you. So I'm really excited to talk to you because you have this phenomenal idea or this phenomenal product, and I think it's really helpful for people who are parents of teens. And I think that anything that's focused on helping parents of teens, make their lives a little bit easier and make their teens' lives a little bit easier, I think that anything in that realm is phenomenal. And so I was really excited to sit down with you and chat a little bit about what this product actually is. So the Teen Smart app, what is it?
So the Teen Smart Goals app is basically something that was inspired by my own family. We were having, a very busy schedule, like most families, kids in school and then competitive sports and doing even other extracurricular activities like robotics and speech and debate. And I found that when my kids hit middle school, they needed a little bit more guidance to kind of be able to tackle these new, big, challenging things that they were trying to do. And so I have lots of years of experience in using SMART goals myself for business, and so we started working through kind of that concept of using the specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound for their own goals. And so we figured out that right around that middle school age was a great time for them to start it, and they started kind of adopting it and learning it, and we saw some really great improvements in how they were tackling their own activities. And so we decided, with the background that we have from our business and software development, to develop an app to try to help other families do the same.
Wonderful. And by we, you and your husband
Yes.
are partners in this business?
Yes.
Wow, it's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And so you developed an app. And so what is this app? What does it do? How does it help?
So the app, the general idea is that it follows this SMART goals methodology. And so how we're a little bit different is that we are trying to use the app to actually teach kids how to define a SMART goal. So it runs them through, like a wizard, like we're used to seeing in, big people, grown-up software and business. One screen for each one of the letters, and that way for them it's just kind of filling out, answering some questions and filling out the form, but it kind of teaches them the process almost by forcing them to take action on each one. Mm-hmm. And so to define the goal specific, right, they have to write out what that means to them, and there's prompts to help them understand what those are. And for example, when they get to the A in actionable, then that's where they go and actually create an action plan for their goal. So if they have something as related to wanting to get a better grade in a specific class, like in English, then they could build an action plan in there that would say that they're going to read an extra 30 minutes a day to be able to, improve their literature, or if they need to practice vocabulary for an extra 15 minutes a day or whatever that may be, they can actually build a plan. And when they're done defining their SMART goal, then they can go to the screens that it's basically their action plan. So every day they know exactly what they can do and what they said they were going to do. That way they don't forget, that way they can track progress. And then they don't just sit there wondering, what did I say I was going to do to try to improve on this? It's like they already went through that trouble, and it's just a matter of kind of following their plan.
And the accountability is there.
Yeah, it helps them, because it is an app, it's not on paper. You can actually, they can track their progress by checking everything off, and then they can see when they're falling a little bit behind. They can see what activities they might have missed, and also have that a little bit as an incentive of, I may have missed a couple things yesterday, let me make up for it, and get caught up.
And why is this important? Why are SMART goals important? Let's start with that, because I know that that's kind of the genesis of this for you, is the focus on goal setting.
It is. I think, SMART goals, that in that definition, they've been around for around 30 years, and we've had to use them as adults in work for a long time. And the reason they've caught on is because it actually, the best way to reach a goal is to actually define it in a way that you have an action plan, that you are time bound, you have a deadline. And the more specific and clear that you can make your goal, then you have a plan that you can work against. And it actually increases, there's studies out there about how much it increases your chances of achieving a goal by just writing it down, right? And so there's percentages for that, but for following SMART goals specifically, they found that it increases your chances of success by about 42%. which is pretty huge.
So one big why is that their chance of success at whatever the goal is, whether it's, you know, sport related or academic related, or even finding a college and getting into a college, their chances of meeting that goal are 42% higher.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so the idea is, you know, follow the plan, follow a process that gives you all of the components to make sure that you are keeping up with your plan. Even the, you know, part of the SMART goal is R for relevant. Reminding yourself that there is something there that you're doing because you want to get a better grade to get into college, or you're going to try out for the varsity team. Like, just like the adults, right? We need that motivation. We need those reminders of why we're doing these big things for ourselves. And sometimes to avoid burnout, you know, being reminded of why it's this important to me. I'm doing this because I love sports, or because I really want at that university I want to get in. And so it's the combination of the 5 components that make a SMART goal that keep you working on the plan, help you stay motivated, and that's why your chances of reaching the goal go up.
And then the T is?
The T is for time bound.
Okay.
It's always a deadline, meaning give yourself, you know, a realistic amount of time to get good at something, right? If you're trying to try out for a varsity team, right, it's not going to be in a week that you're going to go from not knowing how to do a sport to being in the varsity team. But it's also about knowing that you have a specific deadline that you're shooting for, so that you can prepare and kind of divide your work along the way and actually, you know, work towards that goal, knowing that if you follow your plan at the end of 3 months or whatever it is, that then you've made the progress that you need to get there.
Yeah, what I love about this, specifically for teenagers, is that they have the powers in their hands. So they have the ability to set the goal for themselves, and then also to determine what the qualities of that goal are going to look like.
Exactly.
Which helps you. I mean, SMART goals have been around, as you said, for a really long time, and I think it's really good to teach that skill to people as they're, you know, when they're younger, so that they can learn how to set meaningful goals for themselves and really think through the goal, which I think is one of the real benefits of SMART goals. It's, you know, it's one thing to say, I'm gonna, I don't know, lose 30 pounds in a month. And it's another thing to say, you know, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds in a month, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Right. And this is why. Because by day 5, you're gonna be a little tired.
Yeah, exactly. And
you're
not losing 30 pounds in a month.
Right.
I just made that up. But,
yeah,
you know,
but it's that idea of, you know, having that goal, reminding yourself why you're doing it. And then, you know, what you just said is also very important. The reason that we have this app that is more of, you know, like a wizard. It teaches you the process by making you repeat the process over and over again. There are some apps out there that are about setting goals, about, you know, having better workouts, all these things, but it's usually the goal is kind of set for you, and then it's more like, oh, did you do what you're supposed to be doing today? Right. But I think teens, especially when they hit about middle school, 6th and 7th grade, psychologically, the brain development, they are capable of understanding, planning, and prioritizing, and self motivation. So teaching them the process is not going to come from just checking off the boxes. Right. They need to be the ones who create the plan. And so what we're hoping is that, yes, it's a little more work, right? Just like for the rest of us, you sit down and you have to do your plan and make sure that, you know, it actually shows what you want to do with it. And so that is exactly the right time. You know, kids can learn, they are sponges all the way through, you know, college. So they're dealing with bigger challenges. Why not use that time as well to give them the authority to make their own plans and learn the process in the meantime, so that when they do get to college or even later in high school and the challenges just keep getting bigger, they have the tools to be able to come up with what they need on their own.
Absolutely. Absolutely.